What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boston Clinic. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the LDBC or YTBC. We working. Y'all know what it is. And Conor McGregor sent out this tweet over the holidays. Saying shin bone to the cheek. The rules set kept you out the funeral home. Talking about Floyd Mayweather, trying to entice Floyd Mayweather to come out of retirement and give another rematch because basically he don't have no other way to go. Paulie Malignaggi called him out as well. You can go to Paulie's Twitter page and see what Paulie said. Paulie basically said that wherever way you go, Conor McGregor, you're getting whooped. He said if you come back to boxing, you're gonna get that butt whooped. He said if you go to the UFC, Tony Ferguson and Khabib is gonna whoop you. He says all avenues lead to McGregor getting whooped, and McGregor is trying to cop out, and he don't have no other way but to try to call out Floyd for a rematch in the octagon. And that sounds like facts. He knows he's not going to get that money that he made with Floyd Mayweather in the UFC ever again. Ever again, unless he fights Floyd again or returns to boxing versus Canelo, Triple G, or somebody of that nature. He knows that. And that's what Paulie was trying to say. He said he knows he's not going to get that money again. So he's trying to, fight Floyd to keep from, fighting tough fights for a little money. Because, going to the UFC, he ain't gonna make that money. Even though he wants to co-promote with the UFC and then fight as well, it still won't bring him that 30, 25, $20 million. The most I see him really grabbing out there is probably 10, 11, $12 million. And, once you go to the $30 million guarantee will, especially probably what he got on the back end, probably 50, 60, 70, 80, almost $100 million on the back end as well. Reported. That's alleged, what they be saying. Who want to go back to making, that's peanuts. And then, you got tough competition. I don't know who Tony Ferguson is, but Paulie feels that he might give McGregor a tough run. And I know who Khabib is. He might give him a tough run. McGregor says, tell me what I owe, and I come back and whoop, the Khabib guy. He ain't nothing. But obviously, he's pricing himself out because he knows if he comes back, it's going to be a tough fight. And for him, the longer he waits out the ring, the more rusty he going to get, And, that's why he wants the Floyd Mayweather rematch in the octagon. He want an easy another payday and keep it moving. And the UFC is using Floyd's Mayweather name to stay relevant. So they negotiate with him to come to the UFC. I don't know why Dana White would say that, and then Floyd would come back and say, no, it ain't true. I don't get that. Sounds like some cat mouse crap. But yeah, it seems like either way, then he said Nate Diaz as well. He said he believes all three of them whoop him. Paulie. And he said whatever way that Nate Diaz, that Conor McGregor go, other than getting Floyd in the octagon in a rematch, he said it's tough sledding, and he knows that. He said whatever door he opens is going to be a butt whooping waiting for him behind that door. And, McGregor's a smart guy to know that. People, feel that he's to go to the UFC, but it seems like he got some tough competition, and nobody wants, tough competition for not tough money, money that's not worth it. And, he knows the numbers, he knows the rules, he knows he's making before he fought Floyd, and, it changed McGregor for the worse. And, that's what money to do, You get so much money, and you don't want to go back doing what you was used to doing, especially you living a nice, humble life in Ireland. You make your money stretch. He said he got McGregor whiskey coming out or whatever. He said, I'm about to get that Diddy bread. That's what he told McGregor. And, sound like he invested his money well, like we talked about yesterday. So you might not ever see him fighting that UFC ring again, unless he desperately needs some money. But, it sound like he's a smart guy. He was renting all his Ferraris and stuff of that nature, not buying them. Just keeping up the facade that he was, balling like that. But really, he was saving his money and living a nice little lifestyle and wasn't living as lavish as he was leading people to believe. So I don't think he's going to need the money. It just, he's not about to come back and potentially take a butt whooping for small money or potentially take some punishment for small money when he fought Floyd Mayweather, made probably 60, 70, 80, almost $100 million off the back end because the pay-per-view did very, very well. And it would have did better without the pay-per-view outage and all these new live streams and stuff, like streaming stuff and whatever it was. But yeah, I feel him though. Nobody wants to, give money and have to really, really, really work hard. And it ain't worth the money that you're working hard for. But at the end of the day, you are a mixed martial artist. You knew what you was making before. You knew it's not possible to make the money that you made with Floyd Mayweather in UFC right now. You know, if you really want to come back and fight and stop, you know, BSing, go ahead and fight Khabib, Tony Ferguson, or Nate Diaz, and fight them all. And you know, you can't go out on the L. Even if it was in boxing, you got to come back and get you a dub before you retire out the game for real. But it's TBC. We gone.